This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Max, how's your quad feeling?
I'm feeling good overall health-wise. Just back to 100%, just ready to keep going. But don't want to talk about that too much, just because I've been feeling good since last season. But it's definitely been more about preparation and just being mindful of my body. So I definitely have a lot better process ironed out now after that. But overall, I'm 100% for now.
How does it feel this time this year as opposed to last year? Just from a mood standpoint and, being able to be out here and be full go.
I'd say truly it's about the same, maybe with just a little bit more of those thoughts in the back of my head of, going into camp, having a rep count each day, knowing when to say, okay, today it's a good enough amount of work versus, I'd say in the years before, I never had any issue with the rep count I'd had each day, but it was definitely times where I overkicked. But now I've just got that in the back of my head. But for the most part, my mindset's been the same as it's always been, just going out, try to be as mindful on how I'm feeling each day as possible, and then just communicating with coaches, with that.
Have the coaches worked with you on changing your routine a little bit?
Yes and no. Most of that is left up to me, but it's also just been when I have brought things to them, it's just been, okay, what feels best, what do we need to do? For the most part, I really haven't had anything come up, so I've just been able to do everything full go. And I really haven't had any issues.
Is there like a competition going on right now with you and Jason, some of the other kickers? I know it's kind of early in camp at this point, but how is that shaping up so far?
I'd say right now it's really just more with myself and just trying to do my best against what I did the previous day. Those guys have come in, done a great job. I've been really happy for them, just how they've been performing. Just all the kickers in the special teams unit, not just kicking, punting as well. Our snappers have been doing a great job. But as far as competition, I just try to beat what I did the day before. I don't really chalk it up as who I'm competing against because, I think it's most important to just worry about me. But those guys have been doing a great job. Couldn't be happier for them. And I think that they're really shaping up to do well.
With not taking as many reps as you have in the past, do you feel like your leg's fresher and still has the same power when you go through on your kicks?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to talk about because when you go through an injury like that, you'd always assume you're going to come back less. I really don't feel any weaker than I would have before. Really, the main thing that's changed is just kind of my thought process of warming up, going through a workout, and just doing my best to make sure that I'm keeping myself healthy. So I really haven't felt any kind of, I would say, resistance. I just feel like I'm back to my old self, just doing what I did before, but with just that little bit of extra process, just within each practice, each kicking session, just everything I do, I just try to keep that in the back of my head, like, okay, that's a good rep count, that's a good session, versus, oh, I ended on a bad ball, let's go kick another 50. Stuff when I did when I was really young, freshman year, with the old coaching staff, the main thing I've been told throughout my kicking career is leg maintenance, because that's really all I need to do my job is my legs. So really just being honest with how you feel every day. But I really do feel 100%. I think I'm doing everything to my best of my ability that I was before the injury.
How do you gauge a good session?
Well, it's really hard being a kicker because you want to be perfect. One of the best things I've actually read in a book recently was that you want to strive for perfection, but not expect perfection from yourself. Expect to make mistakes, but strive to be perfect because no one's going to be perfect. We're human beings. But for me, a good session would just be going out, knowing I did everything to prepare for that session, and then knowing that I gave my best effort during that session. I don't usually define that between makes and misses. But that's easily the easiest instantaneous feedback for a session. I try to just chalk it up as my effort I put in and the mindset I had going into it.
What's maybe the biggest difference you've seen out of Coach Burns this year?
Ooh. Burns is a great guy. It's really hard to compare and contrast coaching staff because every single person in the human race is a unique person. Everything's different. But Burns has done a great job connecting with us. I'm sure it's difficult to come in with a whole new roster of guys, coming from a team that he was with before. But he's done a great job bonding with us, really working with us on just every little thing we can. But he's done an excellent job just with each individual guy in the special teams unit. But he's obviously he's not as older as Coach Downing was and the father figure, but he's definitely like a brother. He's a great guy, and I've got nothing but positive things to say about him.
Kind of a bigger picture question, just being back in camp now and being back in the routine of things, but then looking ahead to the first opponent on the schedule and having an ACC team coming in here to Williams Stadium. How excited are you to get this season started and get out there on August 31?
I think as a team as a whole, we're all really excited. We've all wanted that bigger stage to prove that we belong in that next level. And I think just as a team, everything we've been doing has been preparing for this moment. Going into my 4th season here, I've seen the guys transition with the old guys graduating and myself nearing that graduation day eventually. This is the moment we've all been working for. We want to put Liberty football on the national stage and do that to the best of our ability every single opportunity we get. And it's really cool to be able to see the team differences we have coming into our stadium now. And it'll just be truly a blessing to be able to do what we do on the stage that we have. So we've just been working as a team every day, off season, spring ball, fall camp now, just really doing our best to come back and do our best for that new stage that we have, because we know it's there. It's just our duty to go out there and really just take advantage of it as much as we can. So we're definitely pumped for it. It's going to be fun.